This morning saw the release of Q2's Lyst Index, which looks at the top 20 hottest brands in the globe right now and also the hottest product. They're using search and shopping behavior of 9 million shoppers per month. It's brand and products on social media, mentions, etc. as well. So it's pretty all-encompassing. The last quarter saw Off-White take the #1 slot and Nike coming in at #3. So, are Off-White still on the top, or have Nike made an extra special push to go into that #1 slot? Let's find out. So I'm now going to take a little look at the top 20, or some of the names in the top 20 hottest brands in the world. So I'm going to start with number 20 because Fear of God have moved into the top 20 for the first time. They ranked in at 29th in the previous quarter. So what are some of the things that have come out that have helped that extra push? Well, we had the Fear of God 1 Noir drop, the boot, the triple black, which in my opinion, one of the nicest colorways of that boot thus far. Also, with the death of George Floyd, they did flip the FG initials round to GF to stand for George Floyd as well. So clearly some stuff, social media, and also some shopping behavioural stuff that's really helped push them into that top 20. I'm going to move to 13th now. Adidas have moved in there from 21 in the last quarter. They announced a sustainable sneaker collaboration with Allbirds, who have fairly recently launched their wool runner, but sustainability being a real, still a very, very popular direction for all these companies to go into. Adidas clearly picking Allbirds as a winner to do a collaboration with there, which totally makes sense. The company have also been making face shields for frontline workers, etc. So in this whole COVID-19 push, they've been clearly helping the frontline staff, etc. there by producing face shields, as have a lot of the other brands, by the way, but it is all helping with the sort of the social media mentions, etc., etc. And they announced that 50% of their new jobs are going to go to diverse talent. I'm now going to jump, because a lot of the other names in between were the sort of the who's who of luxury names, Balenciaga, Prada, etc., etc. But I'm going to jump right towards the top slot now, because these are the two names that I really want to talk about. Last quarter we saw Off-White were occupying that #1 slot, and they've been knocked off their perch this quarter, coming in at #2. Now, there was still some pretty high profile stuff going on. There was that sold out face mask that I mentioned in the last quarter's index, which was actually the most hyped men's searched for and shopped product for that quarter. That restocked. We had the auction for raising money for Black Lives Matter of the signed Virgil Abloh Nike Air Off-White trainers, which I think raised in the region of about $190,000 there for very, very good causes. And they announced a capsule collection with TSUM. So that means from 3rd spot last quarter, moving into #1 slot, and for the first time, a non-luxury name sits at the top of the hottest brands in the world right now, according to Lyst, is Nike. They saw a 75% increase in digital sales in the quarter, which I've talked about a number of times on this channel. They announced $40 million for social justice as well. They had their Just Do It campaign. They switched it to Don't Do It as well, which had a huge amount of social media mentions, etc. And how can we forget the launch of the quarter? No doubt, particularly if you're looking at crossovers with luxury brands, the Air Jordan Dior collaboration. I'd love to have one to show you now, but I couldn't get hold of a pair. But clearly that's one of the big things that's helped them resonate with people that are normally looking at some of these, the luxury brands, etc. And also it just shows you how shut down and working from home has moved us more towards loungewear and activewear generally. Again, something that we've been talking a lot about recently. So on to the hottest women's product. Again, this is looking at shopping behavior, searches, etc., etc. So we go through the top 10, and I'm going to pick a few of the names out here. So in at #10 was a Nike tennis skirt. #9, a £20 H&M puff sleeve dress, which sold out very, very quickly. We had some Prada shorts in at number 6. Number 5, following on from that sort of work from home, leisure wear, was the Calvin Klein bralette. At number 2 was a moon print mask by Marine Serre, and I apologise if I've pronounced that incorrectly, S-E-R-R-E, the moon print mask, which was at number 2. And believe it or not, a blast from the past, number 1, yes, it was a sandal. We've seen again a lot of talk about whether it's sandals and slippers and, you know, some sort of more relaxed wear. Was the Birkenstock 2-strap sandal in at number 1 for the women's products. For the men, in 9th place, Nike Jordan 4 Flyknit. Some of this will definitely have been driven by the Michael Jordan documentary that was airing on Netflix. There's obviously been a lot of hype around the off-white Jordan 4 that's just dropped recently as well, but they particularly mention the Nike Jordan 4 Retro Flyknit. That was in at number 9. In at number 7, we had the Yeezy khaki cotton trousers. Number 4, a Gucci baseball cap, obviously, with all the barbershops and hairdressers being closed over the period, people deciding that the best way to continue to look cool when you can go out or take your photo is to have throw a baseball cap on. So Gucci baseball cap in at number 4. Number 3, we've got this running theme coming out with Asics GT 1007s, which did particularly well. In at number 2, a sandal for the men, a Brunello Cucinelli sandal, again a 2-strapped suede sandal this time. But at number 1, the same from last quarter, the off-white Arrow face mask. Clearly still the important product to have for the discerning streetwear fan and luxury fan as well. Hope you enjoyed this. Any questions, please do always give me a shout, reach out. But that was the Lyst Index for Q2. I'll see you soon.